Traders, tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, February the 3rd. The year is 2026. Let's talk trading. Trading is a process. And by the way, it's with Walmal. I forgot to put that on the screen here. Let's do that real quick. How you doing, Walmal?
I am alive, unlike last week where I felt like, man, I got my butt kicked with some type of flu.
Yeah, a few of the traders wished you well in the comments.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Risk management. Make sure you have your risk management in place so you don't lose more than you are willing to lose when you are trading. So today's topic, trading is a process. I received an email. There's this guy, he's an author, James Clear. Um, he's pretty, one of those guys that talks about success and everything. And he had a couple of quotes from himself and a couple from others that kind of hit home. And his first one was to simplify before you understand the details is ignorance. To simplify after you understand the details is genius. And I just thought that was pretty good. And then he has another one. Um, let's see. No, I guess that was someplace else, but it was basically, you know, kind of like what Einstein was saying, you know, is that, you're done when you can't take anything else away. It's not like you're looking to add to things, you're looking to simplify. And one of the reasons, or another reason I thought of this topic was because of that one guy that kept bugging me. Well, he's still bugging me in the sense he was asking, you know, he wanted to change the time frame. He wanted to, does this work on binaries? And I look, I go, dude, I don't do binaries. And then he's asking me more stuff about binaries. It's like I don't think he wants to keep it simple at all. What's your take on this, Walmall?
Well, it's funny that you said something that kind of clicked in my brain a little bit with that quote from that fellow. I forget what his name is that you just went mentioned, but the idea of simplify. You know, basically, if I was going to put it in my own words, simplify when you understand the problem, not before. That would be my way of saying it. So my pea brain would be able to comprehend it. And my thought process is on it is that maybe I'm just not smart enough, but I never know if I fully understand the details of a problem. Um, it always seems to me, anyway, that when you have some type of problem, and I don't care what the problem is, whether it's plowing a field when you're a farmer, to knowing how to go weld something, or knowing how to go fly an airplane, or how to trade. The reality is every day is a learning experience, and every day you're learning more and more and more and more. And so what I've tended to do in life anyway is that I'm always looking to go and simplify the problem down about where we are, and but at the same time of having reality checks of understanding that I don't understand the problem. I don't fully understand the problem, and therefore I must be open to reevaluating where I'm at, not reevaluating in terms of like changing methods completely around, or going, doing something that's really, really crazy, absurd, ridiculous, but more of, hey, I need to be willing to go and adjust as I understand the problem. And so that's always been throughout life, it's always been that way. Just, you know, be willing to, and I guess, and it's maybe a little bit off topic, but I think it really falls into it. And that is that be willing to admit that you may be wrong. What you've assessed as what the problem is, what you've assessed how to go and deal with the problem may be completely wrong, and be willing to go and take that on and once you have the ability to go and say that, hey, maybe I'm wrong, and then at that point, don't, again, I said it already, but I'll say it again, don't go hog wild and change everything. No, then at that point, go and evaluate what the problem is, evaluate how you go and fix the problem, and evaluate how you simplify the problem. At that point, that's how I look at life anyway. And again, I don't care what it is. It's anything from your social engagement all the way through to how you trade and everything in between.
Yeah, because I just find it slightly amusing because I just brought up a 30-minute chart with the sweet spots, the lines every 5 pips. And, I was trying to tell this trader, just trade with the candle color at the line. Are you going to win all the trades? No, but the stop loss is basically built in, because if you go short at a line like the last half hour, you probably wound up stopping out because it reversed. So maybe you were down 5 pips, but if you reversed, you could have picked up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pips. So
Right.
you could have netted 20 pips if you would have just let that candle close.
And
Just
if you think about it, I'll go and add on to what you just said. It's so true. If going back, let's go back 5, 6 years ago when we were talking about, the Walmal trades. That's why that worked. It worked very simply because, you couldn't just because you took a loss, you can't just give up. You got to go and say, hey, it didn't work this time, but you know what? This works 70, 80% of the time. And because it works 70, 80% of the time, yeah, you're going to take losses. That's okay to take losses. And now you just got to go and be willing to say, I was wrong. And I think that's the biggest.
well, see, no, it's not a question of being right or wrong. See, because we're in trading, it's something that we can't guarantee the outcome. You could say you weren't lucky. It's just like when you win, I always say I got lucky because I don't want my head to get so big to think I'm so great that, I own the market or something. Um,
Yeah.
but another quote he said was, success is often found by practicing the fundamentals everyone knows they should be doing but find too boring or basic to practice routinely. And this, I think, is a perfect example.
Yeah. Well, it does, when you refine that down and you take that to its logical conclusion, doesn't that mean wash, rinse, repeat?
Pretty much, yeah.
And what we say that all the time. It's like, how many
Actually, we
times,
haven't said that in over a year, I think.
well, maybe it's because I say it to my grandkids all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find myself saying that at least once a day with my grandkids. When they go and do well in school and when they blow it, in school.
Yeah, but
So
and here's one of those ones where, when tell people, when you start out, just learn to grab a pip or two. So in this case, in this 30-minute, um, if he would have uh, gone short at the 95, it started to go against him. But then if he stuck in the trade because it didn't hit the 70 or the 7,000, or I should say 3,700, right now he'd be up almost, let's see, over 3 pips just by doing this simple fundamental trade. Because if you can't trade this, you can't trade, is the way I look at it. Because this is fundamental. Because there's a million reasons to enter. And, half the traders are saying, yeah, I should be long now. And half the traders are saying I should be short now. Even if they're not in a trade, they've got a bias. They've got a direction they're thinking in terms. And that's what makes the market.
right. No, it's funny because you just triggered something my pea brain, and going way back, into the as they like to say, going to the way back machine. I remember the paper that you had written, with the whole idea, that Yale students would go and all trade in one direction, and the rats or the losers or whatever I forget what you call them.
Oh, I didn't
But
write
yeah,
that. That's from God, what's her name? That's from the that book. I have to look it up.
okay. But and it's funny because I kind of refined that, and I think that fundamentally, it's absolutely true. If you're going to be long, you be long. If you're going to be short, be short. And and overall, you'll be eventually you'll be good. Even if you happen, even in a day like today, where you look at the market and what the market's doing, you know, what would your preferred bias want to be, based on just based on the last couple of hours anyway, you probably would want to be long. But even if you were short, there were opportunities still to make money. So I think the principle of that is that the thing is, don't be constantly changing what you're doing, left, right, left, right, and center, always going to changing things, because that's what's going to get you into trouble. And that way you singularly focus. And now, let's say you're biased short for some reason in this market that looks like it wants to go and run up a little bit. That's okay, because you know you can still find the opportunity. And what you may need to do is that instead of going and looking for making 10, 20 pips on a trade, maybe you're making 1 or 2 pips on a trade, but you're still making some pips.
Yeah, that
The
was in.
problem is,
I was going to say I looked it up. That the rat experiment was talked about in the book How We Decide.
okay, okay, I didn't realize that, or probably more. I did realize it at the time, but it's been so long ago that I forgot that. But but the whole point is, you know, you, know, you want to, getting back to topic about talking about simplifying things and when it's appropriate to simplify things. Get your fundamentals in place. Okay, once you get your fundamentals in place, then at that point you can go and simplify things. And sometimes I find that, for me anyway, when I simplify things, what I have to do is I have to think about, okay, how do I simplify this, and what is it going to go in effect? So let's say I've come up with some convoluted scheme to make pips, you know, and it requires using 7, 8, indicators. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to simplify that, because I can't be looking at 7 or 8 indicators and actually comprehending everything that's going on. So I need to start thinking about, which indicators do I not need anymore? Which things do not need to look? And if I don't have them there, what is that going to compromise in terms of what I've determined by looking at the charts? And so I need to go and put in place some type of rule set that protects me over the fact that I've now dropped something out. Or is there an indicator, a better indicator that's out there that maybe doesn't completely cover exactly what I want to do, but it gives me a close approximation. And I think, Tiro, it's funny, we had a situation where I was using the histogram from the slope, and you were using the histogram from price action. And it was funny because I mistakenly put the wrong indicator on the chart. But what we found was that, even though they're 2 different indicators measuring 2 different things, they really were in sync with each other more times than not. And you'll find that that'll happen. Oh, so here's a simplification we can do. I don't need to have the histogram for both of them up there. I can just put one up there. And those are the type of simplifications we should be looking at.
Yeah, and that's true of. Oh, guess what? The
We're almost out of
fastest
time.
15 minutes in trading is just about over. Wow, that went by quick. We might have to do part
We
of
have to
that
continue
again.
this.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Um, so, fellow traders, if you have any questions or ideas or thoughts, be sure to reach out. Pop a note in the comments. And when you're trading, we want you to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.